my name's Will and welcome to the Band Survival Guide. So a few of you guys were asking for tips and advice on how to improve your band's live set. You asked and you shall receive. So in today's video I'm going over 5 things that will improve your band's live set. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is choreography. Before you say anything, no, I don't mean that. However, some form of loose choreography can really help you up your game as a live band. I feel like poor stage presence is often the biggest barrier that is stopping local bands from reaching that higher level. So choreography can be the catalyst to help you stand out. It doesn't have to be a meticulously planned out routine akin to a Eurovision Song Contest performance because, well, that's a bit cheesy and there's a lot of stuff to remember. But a basic plan of where you're going to stand on stage, song transitions, fan interaction, all of that stuff will help separate you from the thousands of other bands that are trying to make it. I've personally found that it really helps you if you lack confidence on stage, as it makes you commit to a plan and all of your bandmates are expecting you to stick with that practiced routine, and because it is practiced over and over again, it becomes second nature, so you can say goodbye to those onstage nerves and channel your inner rock star. That's weird. I'm sorry. Tip number 2 is rehearsing with your live rig. Getting familiar with every aspect of your live setup really helps to improve your band's live show. When we play live, we have so much to think about. Whether we're the guitarist, the bassist, the singer, or the drummer, we all have to play a role. What's the next chord? Shit, was I meant to stand over there when the solo was playing? I wonder what my mum's making me for tea tonight. So when you add complicated gear into the mix, gear that you're completely unfamiliar with, things can get pretty confusing. I can tell you guys now, if you haven't experienced this yet, getting flustered on stage is the worst feeling. It can lead to a gig just being a hot mess of mistakes and mishaps. Please rehearse with your live rig. Rehearsing with your live rig gets you more familiar with how your gear works. If something breaks in practice, that's fine, that's no worry. But if something breaks live on stage while you're playing a show, you need to be able to fix that on the fly. If you're dancing around on your pedal board all night with effects changes, doing that in the practice room every week really helps because it gets you in that routine. Again, it's just making it second nature, so it's less to think about while you're on stage. If you prepare, you can always save a gig from potential disaster. Tip number 3, rehearse your set, not just your repertoire. This one kind of ties into my previous point. It's all about planning and preparation, which is kind of a running theme with these tips. At the end of the day, the key to a great gig is pre-planning and practice. Right, I guess that's just it then, guys. I can just end it right there. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. So what I meant by this tip is rehearse your live set from start to finish with no gaps and make sure all of the transitions there, all of the choreography is there that you've done before. Even go through what the singer's going to say to the audience. Firstly, this highlights any potential weak spots or problems with your live set, which will help you know where you need to improve. And secondly, it gets you really familiar with every aspect of your live show. If you combine practicing your live rigs with your choreography, like I explained in tips 1 and 2, your whole show will become second nature to you. I feel like it just lets us relax and have a bit more fun, because we don't have to be worrying about every single aspect of what we're doing. And secondly, it makes sure that our show's running really smoothly, and I think this is what really separates the top pro bands from the smaller, unsigned and independent bands. I don't have any data to back this up, but I will be willing to bet good money that every small independent band that is breaking through their scene has a really sick, smooth, efficient live set. For example, go and see a massive band like Muse. Their live show runs like a well-oiled machine. In addition to that, it gives you room to improvise. Make sure that none of your shows are exactly the same. You'll always want to be giving the fans a unique experience. Just remember, and I can't stress this enough, don't just play through your whole set over and over again, because what that can do is just reinforce bad habits or bad aspects of your live show. When you come across something that you think needs improving, just stop and break things down with your band members and just work out, okay, that's the bit that's not working, we need to work on that, this bit sounds sick, and then just go from where you stopped and keep going. There's no need to keep going right from the start. I found in college that this was something that was really drilled into us. You'll waste so much time if you break things down and then think, right, we need to start the song again. No, start the song from where you start because you'll just make much quicker progress that way. That's a little tip for you guys there. Number 4, play your best song first. This was probably the most useful and simple tip that I ever received, and it was really drilled into me in college by one teacher. And I think it's something that every local band needs to start doing. As musicians, we need to stay humble. And even if our bands may have fans, we need to realise that most people don't know who we are and they don't care who we are.
You've got no friends!
Their attention span is like a ticking time bomb. You want to grab their attention straight away. Just look at this. Did you look? Did I get your attention? Don't play 20 minutes of filler and then end on your best song in some sort of crescendo of awesomeness. You might think it's epic, but the audience might be thinking, oh, this band are a bit boring. Might just go over to the bar and get a drink. That was a bit David Brenty, I'm sorry about that. Start with your best song, make the audience eager to hear more. As the saying goes, make it killer, not filler. And number 5! Get great at sound checking. For a long time, I will admit, I had no idea what I was listening for in a sound check. Especially at a smaller level, the sound check is often rushed and often overlooked. Firstly, I feel as small musicians, we all need to be getting better at sound checking. So here are some tips. Firstly, it really helps if you know your gear. So if you've got this far in the video, and I hope you have, you'll remember that I said knowing your gear inside out is really important. If you know exactly what sound you're going for, and since you're already familiar with your gear, you can be really quick at setting up, those are already 2 things that will increase your sound check time straight away. So next, when it comes to you individually sound checking your instruments, know what your needs are. Do you want more bass in the wedge monitor? Tell the engineer. Do you want more kick and snare in your monitor? Tell the engineer. Do you want more guitar in your monitor? Tell the engineer. You get what I mean. Make sure you communicate this with your engineer because this just makes their job so much easier and they can work more efficiently, which in turn should lead to a better live sound. So, when you are happy with your monitoring, the engineer will probably say something like this. Right guys, I need to set the level, so do you want to play a chorus or something? Now, this part is really important. I'd like to say that most sound engineers know what they're doing, but I'm afraid that isn't always the case. This means it is in your interest to get the sound that you want from the front of house monitors. And what I mean by front of house monitors is the main speakers that are shooting the sound out to the audience. Do you like a lot of reverb in your vocal? Tell the engineer. Is the kick drum a focal point in your mix? Tell the engineer. It's just about communicating with them and letting them know what your requirements are. By doing this, it helps you retain a more uniform sound when you play different venues, because each venue has a different room size, it's got different equipment, and that will mean that the sound will be different. So, you're playing through the chorus, you're sound checking, what do you do next? What I personally recommend, and this helps a lot if you've got a wireless pack, is step out if you're a guitarist or a singer, or the bassist even, but I wouldn't trust what a bassist says about live sound. I'm being a bit prejudiced, but Glenn Fricker, ha ha ha. So, you walk off the stage while you're playing and listen to the sound coming out of the front of house speakers. Analyse the sound, think where it could improve, what you want, and then just communicate that to the engineer and he or she can make the adjustments that you need. Just make sure that the whole time you're doing it in a friendly and positive way, you're not barking orders at them, because the last thing you want is a grumpy sound engineer. Don't get yourself into this situation. Did you turn me up? Yeah. Yeah man, sounds sick. So that's it guys, I hope that was helpful and entertaining. That's what I'm aiming to do here at the Band Survival Guide. So let me know in the comments, what is something that you're doing to improve your band's live set? Is there anything that I've said that you might be implementing next time you go to rehearse? Let me know in the comments, have a chat with me. If you don't want to comment and you just want a conversation, feel free to DM me on Facebook, Instagram, the links are down there. Finally, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that good stuff. My name is Will, this is the Band Survival Guide. I will see you in the next video. Yeah.